Crop circles are basically features, designs, illustrations of high complexity in crops. They tend to be complicated designs of unknown origin.
In 1974, scientists sent a message into space using the most powerful radio telescope available. The message, composed in simple binary code, aimed to communicate with an intelligent alien species and detailed life on Earth. It was directed at a dense star cluster in the constellation Hercules. This was largely a ceremonial event, intended to showcase new radio astronomy technology. No one really expected a response, and even if one was received, it would take a long time, given the nearest star in that direction is 25,000 light-years away. After the broadcast at 2,380 megahertz, the scientists congratulated each other and moved on with their lives. However, 27 years later, an unexpected event occurred. A reply came back from deep space. This is the story of crop circles, a mystery that still hasn't been solved.
It's a mystery as old as the hills. Just how do these perfect circles appear in the middle of cornfields?
This phenomenon has been documented since the 16th century, but it gained widespread attention in the 1980s. To date, more than 20,000 crop circles have been recorded, with most appearing in cereal crop fields across England. However, these mysterious geometric patterns have also been found as far as Southeast Asia, and even Native American lore has mentioned them. For years, there seemed to be only one explanation for these intricate designs in fields of wheat, canola, rye, and other crops. They were created by an advanced alien intelligence trying to communicate with humanity. Believers debated the purpose of the circles. Were they blueprints for a new power source? Representations of the UFOs spotted by many people worldwide? Or a coded message? The debate continued until the mystery was solved in 1991. Doug Bauer, then 67, and Dave Clory, 62, revealed to a reporter that they had started making the unusual formations in the late 1970s.
Two men in their 60s from Southampton had been making circles for years.
Their method was straightforward, involving a wooden board attached to rope. Under the cover of night, they would enter the crop fields and use the plank to flatten the crops. With a prop anchored into the ground and some string for guidance, they would create precise circular patterns. The pair decided to come forward after noticing the surge in copycat creations and the growing public fascination with the phenomenon. They called a newspaper to confess and demonstrated their method.
When I came home in '66, I met Dave, who was a fellow artist, and we used to go venture out on Friday evenings and have a chat about watercolours and things and have a pint of beer. And one evening, summer evening, we saw a cornfield, and I remarked to him about this. And I said, why don't we put a circular depression in this cornfield, the same as they had out in Australia?
Even deceiving an investigator who had believed the formations were made by aliens. Additionally, they revealed a collection of over 200 crop circle designs stored in a shed on Mr. Bauer's property, which had aged over the years, adding credibility to their confession. The prank went unnoticed by major investigators like Pat Delgado, who had written several books on the phenomenon and believed it was the work of alien intelligence.
We have two planed fields here. It is like a canvas that is waiting to be painted on. And with this, the surveillance taken place, we have monitors in the van, and the screens are showing us what is happening in the fields at night. It is like looking at daylight pictures, really.
The newspaper that revealed the story arranged for Delgado to meet with the hoaxers to inspect a newly formed crop circle. Delgado quickly recognized the men. They had been at the scene of many circles he had previously investigated. Now he understood why. They were the ones responsible. The duo formed a group called the Circle Makers and saw their work as a form of artistic expression. They were fascinated by how much influence their anonymous creations had over people. As time went on, new members joined while others retired, and the group kept the phenomenon alive for years. However, they became increasingly worried as copycats emerged, trying to profit from their notoriety. The crop circle mystery seemed to be solved, and those who believed the intricate designs were made by non-human forces were discredited. But was it really solved? If you check sources like JSTOR Daily or Live Science, they conclude the mystery is fully resolved, with headlines implying anyone who thinks otherwise is foolish. To their credit, along with academic consensus, if you dismiss all the evidence you find inconvenient, then yes, all crop circles are hoaxes. However, that's not how science works, at least not if you're committed to being intellectually honest. The truth is, there are still puzzling aspects of crop circles that remain unexplained. Even the most devoted believers in the idea that crop circles are created by non-human forces will acknowledge, especially after the admissions by Bauer and Corley, that many crop circles are man-made. Hoaxers have been caught in the act or shortly after. Given that American farmers are generally more armed than their British counterparts, it's perhaps not surprising that most crop circles are found in England. A study of crop circle locations also supports the hoaxing theory. Most are created near main roads, in areas with medium to high population density, and close to cultural landmarks like Stonehenge. This suggests that hoaxers choose spots with easy access to large crop fields, and where their design will be easily seen. However, these same details align with the popular theory among crop circle believers that the patterns are messages from a non-human intelligence. If such a message is meant for humans, it would naturally be placed where it can be easily noticed, even by people on foot. This explains why crop circles often appear on flat ground between hills or directly on hillsides, where they can be viewed from below. Aircraft are usually sent after their discovery to capture aerial footage. Both sides present valid arguments regarding the data points, but the evidence against all crop circles being hoaxes goes beyond that. The method for creating hoaxed crop circles is widely known and has been replicated globally. It's surprisingly straightforward, which might explain reports of crop circles going as far back as medieval times. While only a few records from that period exist, it's hard to know how common the phenomenon was, as fewer people would have seen them. There was no aerial photography, and people were more focused on survival. To fake a crop circle, a flat board is used to press the crops down near their stems to keep them flattened. A team of two can create intricate designs within a few hours under the cover of darkness. Tools anchored into the ground or simply having one person hold a string from the center of the formation allow for the creation of precise circular shapes. Evidence against all crop circles being hoaxes comes from the impact this method has on crops. For starters, hoaxers often leave behind tracks and footprints, which can be easily noticed. Mud or dirt stains on the plant stems or marks from the board pushing into the dirt and onto fresh stalks are clear signs. These are more obvious in fields that were recently watered, but even in dry conditions, disturbances in the crops are noticeable when examining the flattened areas. The process of flattening crops with a wooden board leaves a clear sign. Stems are crushed or broken as they're forced flat. As the hoaxer moves through the field, they inevitably step on the crop heads, causing them to become bruised, crushed, or otherwise damaged. Upon closer inspection, this destruction is easy to spot. This is where a closer look at anomalous circles shows they couldn't have been made in the same way. Anomalous circles often appear within just a few hours. Some crop circle enthusiasts claim to have monitored fields, only for a pattern to emerge in minutes when attention was briefly diverted. Farmers themselves have reported these formations appearing suddenly, making them doubt that a group could enter their fields and carry out such a complex task in such a short time. And complexity is the key. While early circles were simple as seen in the work of Bauer and Corley, they quickly became far more intricate, like formations seen in 2002 and 2009. When researchers examine the crops in these circles, they find no signs of crushing. Instead, the plants seem to be bent at nearly 90-degree angles without damage to the heads or stalks, unlike the obvious breaks caused by hoaxes. However, there's still damage to the crops, though it's of a completely different nature. The BLT Research Group, which focuses on crop circle studies, was the first to conduct a scientific investigation of this phenomenon. Working with Michigan biophysicist W.C. Levengood, they analyzed hundreds of plants from both inside and outside crop circle formations under a microscope. Levengood found a consistent abnormality in the membrane around the seeds of the stalks, including an enlargement of the cell wall pits. Additionally, the stem nodes, the knuckle-like protrusions along a plant stalk, were shown to be enlarged by up to 172% compared to control samples from outside the crop circles. Some of the crop circles examined also had plants with stems that showed pronounced bending, typically at the lower stem nodes, along with the node expansion. This bending was considered unusual when compared to the natural process where plants bend towards sunlight, especially in newly formed crop circles. The extreme bending near the bottom of the stem is considered a key feature of an authentic crop circle. Plants like canola and rapeseed tend to break before reaching the nearly 90-degree angle needed to create a crop circle mechanically. Canola plants usually break at about 45 degrees, and their heads are easily damaged. However, crop circles in canola fields often show no signs of breaks or damage to the plant heads. The appearance of crop circles in late summer further reduces the likelihood of hoaxing. While crops may bend without breaking earlier in the season when it's wetter, they become much more brittle and prone to breaking as they dry out in late summer. Another unusual feature is the presence of burst nodules along the stem, which are not found in man-made crop circles. These nodules typically appear on the second node below the seed head and are most noticeable in younger, greener crops. This phenomenon occurs due to the rapid superheating of water inside the plant stem, which causes the nodes to burst from steam pressure. Interestingly, this effect is not observed at the top of the plant, where the growth is newer and the plant fibers are more elastic, but rather at the bottom with older, less elastic tissues. This suggests that high-power microwaves, similar to those in a microwave oven, may be responsible. The vaporization of internal water makes the plant stem more pliable, which could explain why anomalous circles often have few, if any, cracked stems. Further evidence against mechanical hoaxing comes from how plants react to the forces involved in circle formation. When a crop circle forms before the plant flowers and develops seeds, the rest of the plant will grow normally, but the seeds may either fail to form or grow with significant deformations. This pattern strongly suggests that microwave radiation, rather than mechanical methods, is responsible for creating anomalous circles. When a crop circle appears during a later growth stage with developing seeds, the seeds themselves often show signs of the force used to create the circle. These seeds may become stunted, exhibit physical abnormalities, be underweight compared to a control sample, and either fail to germinate or have reduced germination rates. In mature plants with fully or nearly fully developed seeds, the effects can be quite distinct. Plant species that normally show considerable variation in growth at different stages will suddenly display uniformity. All affected seeds will germinate and grow in a synchronized fashion, indicating that something is interfering with their typical growth patterns. The most striking effects occur within mature, fully formed seeds and provide strong evidence against hoaxing. These seeds can exhibit explosive growth, with a growth rate of up to 5 times higher than the unaffected seeds. Seeds located near the center of a formation show this rapid growth much more prominently than those at the edges, which still outgrow those outside the formation. This provides compelling evidence against the idea of hoaxes because it suggests a sophisticated mechanism is at play. Evidence from some crop circles shows precise node length changes in crops, decreasing from the center of the edges in a predictable pattern. These changes align with the Beer-Lambert principle, which explains how electromagnetic energy is absorbed by the matter, supporting the idea that microwave energy may be involved in the formation of these phenomena, though other forms of electromagnetic energy could be at work. The type of microwave energy needed is not particularly unusual. Researchers and enthusiasts agree that it's feasible for hoaxers to create such an effect using microwaves. The challenge is that no hoaxers have come forward to demonstrate they can do this, and it would require constructing a device capable of affecting an area as large as 100 feet. Such a device would need a significant power source. While it might be possible today with a large drone equipped with a magnetron, no one has presented such a tool. Additionally, the original study was conducted in the 1990s, before commercial drones were available, as there's no evidence that anomalous circles can be replicated by humans. Or is there? In 2002, the Discovery Channel aired a special on crop circles and enlisted a team of 5 MIT students to convincingly create a fake crop circle. They were instructed to follow 3 criteria for a genuine crop circle: elongated plant stem nodes, expulsion cavities in the stems from steam, and 10 to 50 micro diameter magnetized iron spheres in the soil, arranged in a linear pattern, which had been found in soil samples from anomalous circles. The students constructed a microwave device and a device to disperse iron particles, successfully making their crop circle and seeming to prove that science could debunk the mystery, accomplished by a group of graduate students. However, the truth was more complicated. TV editing and overall misleading presentation distorted the findings. Although the students claimed to have replicated expulsion cavities with their microwave device, the audience was only shown distance shots, leaving unclear whether the crops actually displayed the characteristic steam-related explosions. The team did not manage to create the magnetized iron spheres typically found in anomalous circles. Instead, they only displayed iron shavings that the MIT students had scattered around the formation. Although the students had seen microscopic images of what they were supposed to replicate, no similar images of their iron shavings were provided to show they had succeeded in making the magnetized iron sphere seen in real circles. Moreover, the iron shavings they used did not align with the linear pattern of magnetized iron spheres found in anomalous circles. In summary, the MIT team failed to meet all the criteria set for them, yet they claimed success. This reflects a broader bias in academia against unconventional subjects. As noted earlier, dismissing data that doesn't fit the mainstream view can lead to the conclusion that any mystery from UAPs to crop circles or even Bigfoot is resolved. The BLT study, which examined the unusual properties of crops in real crop circles, faced common criticisms. 1. The study focuses on correlation rather than causation. 2. The group's conflict of interest due to their investment in crop circles and profit from related books. 3. If the study had scientific merit, the rest of the scientific community would be eager to investigate it. These criticisms are not entirely valid. Regarding the first point, if an unknown force is involved, determining causation is challenging without further research. For the second point, Jacques Cousteau also profited from his documentaries, but this does not undermine his research. The third point overlooks the stigma associated with unconventional subjects and the existing scientific bias and ridicule, which may explain the lack of serious research on the phenomenon. This is similar to how mainstream science continues to dismiss those researching UAPs, even though the U.S. Congress has launched several new programs on the topic, and lawmakers like Representative Matt Gaetz have reported seeing definitive evidence of non-human vehicles captured by military reconnaissance. The main critique of mainstream science often boils down to this: there has yet to be any attack on the actual results of studies on crops affected by anomalous circles. Instead, criticism from academia typically targets individuals or groups, or the evidence is simply dismissed or ignored. The debate over crop circles and their origins continues to captivate and challenge both scientific and public discourse. Despite various theories and attempts to debunk or validate their existence, the complexity and variety of effects seen in crop circles, particularly those that defy simple explanations, remain a focal point for researchers. One notable aspect of crop circles is the laying down of crops, where plants are bent at precise angles without being broken. This phenomenon is often cited as a distinguishing feature of genuine crop circles. The exact mechanism behind this is still unclear, but some theories suggest that it could involve rapid heating of the plant stems, leading to a pliable state where they can be manipulated into specific patterns. This would require a form of energy that could heat the plants uniformly without causing physical damage, such as microwave radiation or some form of directed energy. Moreover, the presence of unusual magnetic properties in and around crop circles has also been documented. Researchers have reported that soil within crop circle formations often contains higher levels of magnetic particles compared to surrounding areas. This has led to speculation about the use of electromagnetic fields in the creation of crop circles. If these particles are magnetized, it could imply that some form of electromagnetic energy was used during the formation of the circles, further complicating the debate over their origins. Another significant area of study involves the biological impact of crop circles on the plants within them. Research has shown that the plants in crop circles can exhibit unusual growth patterns and developmental anomalies. For instance, some studies have found that plants within crop circles grow in a spiral pattern or exhibit unusual node functions. These anomalies suggest that the environmental conditions within crop circles are significantly different from those outside them, which could be due to the application of high-energy electromagnetic fields or other environmental factors. So thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and stay tuned for more content like this.